Lightyear should have been a tragic story about the dark side of heroism, not a generic family-friendly cash grab milking our nostalgia that has nothing to do with Buzz and would literally work with any superhero. This rewrite will do the Toy Story fans justice. Buzz is haunted by the crushing weight of realizing his dark mistake can't be fixed. He must learn to move on before it's too late, because unlike most superhero movies, there wasn't a cliché last-minute save in this one. The Weight of Infinity. An elderly Buzz Lightyear sits alone in a darkened apartment on Takani Prime, surrounded by commendations and medals all gathering dust. His robot cat Socks sits idle in a pile in the corner, its battery long dead. Buzz is staring at a holographic message he's watched 1,000 times. It's Alicia Hawthorne's last goodbye. He reaches out to touch her flickering image, but his hand passes through the empty light. Buzz has spent decades trying to fix a mistake that can't be fixed. We flash back. Not to the beginning of the mission, but to the moment that defined everything, the crash. We see Buzz's overconfidence, him refusing to follow the rules because he knows better than the ship's AI. We watch as he arrogantly leads everyone to a catastrophic landing that strands 1,200 people on a hostile alien world. But unlike the original, we also see the immediate aftermath. We see the injured first, then a young mother clutching her child who's badly wounded from the crash. We see Buzz's face as he realizes what his arrogance has cost. This is a terrible tragedy, and it's all Buzz Lightyear's fault. Commander Alicia Hawthorne is furious. She confronts him and wants him punished, but she also knows that Buzz is the best pilot they have, and if anyone can get them home, it's him. So she makes him a deal. He gets one chance to fix this, develop the hyperspace fuel, and save everyone. If he fails, he faces consequences. If he succeeds, then maybe, just maybe, his punishment will just be to live with what he's done. The prisoner of time. Buzz starts test flights. Due to time dilation, when Buzz returns from his first 4-minute flight, he finds that 4 years have passed. And in this movie, he doesn't just discover that Alicia got engaged. He finds out that 3 more of the crash survivors passed from injuries while he was away. He visits their graves, reads their names, and adds them to the list of people his mistakes have taken. Alicia, who spent the 4 years calming down, tries to tell him that it's not his fault, that they're rebuilding a life here, and that this is home now. But Buzz can't accept that, because accepting it means that he took all those people's lives for nothing. He goes on a test flight again, and again, and again. With each flight, we see Takani Prime transform, buildings rise, and a civilization emerges. We also see the cost of Buzz's obsession and Alicia trying to reach him, trying to make him understand that life is happening while he's chasing the past. And we see her fall in love with Kiko, a brilliant scientist who understands that sometimes the mission changes. At their wedding, Buzz is there, but he's not really there. He's already thinking about the next test flight. The time dilation sequence, the best bit of the original Lightyear, is the emotional core of the film. But instead of being a montage of Alicia's life, it's a montage of Buzz's isolation. We see him return from each flight to find more time has passed. Alicia is pregnant, then she has a son, then her son's in college, then Alicia is gray, then she's badly ill. With each return, Buzz is more and more alone. The other survivors forget who he was and the role he played in stranding them there. He's become either a ghost or a legend, the famous pilot who keeps disappearing and reappearing, never aging or changing, or never moving forward. They don't even remember why he's doing what he's doing. When Alicia records her final message, it's not a cheerful goodbye, it's a plea. She tells Buzz that she forgave him for the crash decades ago, and so did everybody else. The only person who hasn't forgiven him is himself. She tells him that she's lived a beautiful life on Takani Prime, that she's been happy, that she's loved and been loved, and that the mission isn't to get everyone home. The mission is to accept that he's already home. But Buzz can't do that, because to him, it hasn't been decades, just weeks. So if he stops and accepts that Takani Prime is home, then he's destroyed the lives they were supposed to have for nothing. He can't let go of the thought that his arrogance took dozens of lives and stranded hundreds more. To him, there's no other way to make it right. So he makes one final flight, and this time it finally works. He reaches hyperspace and can finally bring everyone home. Except when he returns, 22 more years have passed, and everything has changed. Takani Prime is at war. The ghost in the machine. Buzz returns to find Takani Prime under attack by Cyclops robots led by Zurg. Zurg specifically targets the hyperspace fuel facility, the one thing that could get them off the planet. He's not trying to conquer Takani Prime. He's trying to trap everyone there forever. Buzz meets Izzy Hawthorne, Alicia's granddaughter, along with the bumbling Mo and the hardened Darby. But in this version, they're not comic relief. Izzy's carrying the weight of her grandmother's legacy, trying to live up to a legend. Mo's a young recruit who idolized Buzz as a child, but now knows he's just a broken, obsessive man who can't let go of the past. Darby is a survivor of the original crash, who lost her family because of Buzz's mistake, and has spent decades in prison for trying to steal a ship to escape the planet. They don't want to work with Buzz because they don't trust him, but because he's the only one who understands the hyperspace technology, they need him. They fight their way to Zurg's ship, and we see Buzz through their eyes as a man out of time, using old, outdated fighting tactics. He keeps trying to be the hero and fix everything himself. He needs to prove to them that he can make things right, but he keeps failing. The reveal of who Zurg is hits differently in this version. When Zurg removes his helmet to reveal an older Buzz Lightyear, it's not just a twist, it's a mirror. This Buzz is from a timeline where he got everyone home within a few years. Then he spent decades developing technology to travel back in time and returned to Takani Prime to prevent the crash from ever happening, and discovered that without the crash, the colonists never built their civilization, fell in love, or had children. Izzy was never born, and an entire generation of people who lived full lives on Takani Prime simply ceased to exist. Zurg tried to accept it, but he couldn't. So he went back again to find a timeline where he could stop anyone from dying in the crash, but still preserve the lives that came after when they got back home. He's tried hundreds of times, creating and destroying countless timelines. He's no longer Buzz. He's Zurg, a monster, happy to erase entire realities and the lives in them for an endless struggle to fix his mistake. Buzz looks at Zurg and sees what he'll become if he doesn't let go. A man so consumed by guilt and obsession that he'll destroy entire worlds just to feel better. He needs to find a way to accept that some mistakes can't be fixed. The choice. Instead of the cliché ending of a climactic battle, this version ends in a deep but powerful conversation. A bit like the one between the two visions in WandaVision. But seriously, how many of you remember that? And how many remember the cheesy Wanda versus Agatha magic fight? Buzz and Zurg, who are two versions of the same broken man, argue about redemption and responsibility. Zurg insists if they just try hard enough, they can make it right. They can save everyone by undoing the crash and erasing the mistake. But Buzz finally gets what Alicia was trying to tell him. Even though the crash happened, people's lives were changed, and it was his fault. The people who were born on Takani Prime built their lives there, and those lives matter. Izzy matters. Erasing the crash means erasing them. Buzz tells Zurg that he's spent decades trying to fix the past, and all he's done is miss the present. He's watched everyone he loved grow old and die while he stayed frozen, chasing a mission that was already complete. Because the mission was never to get everyone home. The mission was to keep everyone safe, and they were safe. They built a home, lived, and loved. Zurg can't accept it. He attacks, trying to take the fuel by force. In the fight, Buzz has a choice between using the fuel to stop Zurg, destroying any chance of ever leaving Takani Prime, or letting Zurg take it and risk him destroying another timeline. Buzz chooses to destroy the fuel and accept that Takani Prime is home, and that his mission now is to protect the people who live here, not chase the ghosts of people who might have lived somewhere else. The explosion seemingly kills Zurg, but more importantly, it frees Buzz. For the first time in decades, he's not thinking about the next test flight. He's not calculating trajectories or analyzing fuel compositions. He's just standing on Takani Prime, watching the sun set over a city that exists because of him, surrounded by people who live because he failed. The legacy. The ending is bittersweet. Buzz doesn't get a triumphant hero moment or save the day with a last-minute plan. He simply accepts that he's going to live on Takani Prime for the rest of his life, that he's going to watch more people age and die while he stays young, and that he's going to carry the weight of his mistake forever. But he also accepts that he can still do good. Commander Burnside, who's been trying to arrest Buzz throughout the film, finally understands. He tells him that the Space Ranger Corps was disbanded years ago because the colonists don't need rangers anymore. What they need are protectors from the next Zurg. She offers Buzz a new mission to train the next generation and teach them to be better than he was. Buzz accepts his new job. He forms a new team with Izzy, Mo, and Darby to protect Takani Prime. Socks, recharged and updated, becomes not just a companion, but a reminder and a connection to Alicia, the friend who tried to save him from himself. In the final scene, Buzz visits Alicia's grave. He tells her that he finally understands and that he's home. He places his Space Ranger badge on her headstone before heading to the first day in his new job at the Protectors Academy. The post-credits scene shows Zurg survived, but he's different. He's watching Buzz from a distance, seeing him finally at peace and moving forward. For the first time in decades, Zurg thinks that maybe, just maybe, there's another way. Maybe the answer isn't to fix the past, but to fix the future. After all the clichéness in movies today, a darker story like this would be refreshing. Speaking of dark themes, The Lion King showed a polished fairy tale version of the animal kingdom. My version won't. It'll be about the raw, authentic hunter-be-hunted aspect of it, focused on animal combat. If that interests you, click here.